I'm walking here. A late night walk. I have some thoughts. So, yeah, America is not doing well. Um, America, we have a problem. So, I feel like I need to make a recommitment to all of you, the podcast listeners, that the Ivory Tower Boiler Room, I'm not going to shy away from topics that may offend people, like gender conversations, sexuality conversations, discussing books that are explicit, discussing topics like corn or, internet usage. I feel like we need to talk head on about artificial intelligence and its ethics. So I'm so grateful to be doing a humanities podcast right now about teaching students in college and how we navigate that, especially with such... Oh, there's the bus. Oh no, that's not a bus. That was another truck. But that in college right now, we're faced with professors who are being asked to leave, or even not even being asked, but forced to leave because their political views on social media go against what this administration says is akin to hate speech. But remember, we have academic freedom as professors, and we only keep our academic freedom if we fight for it. So I am very, very happy and grateful that I get to have conversations with fellow academics who also believe in academic freedom, who also believe we need to face head-on the technological revolution. We need to face head-on open conversations around debate, facilitating debate, disagreeing with each other respectfully, but at the end of the day, not trying to censor people's views and topics just because they may seem controversial to some. Because what's controversial to some is someone's everyday life. So I'm thinking about conversations I'm having with my students in British literature about Beowulf. Just hold on for a few seconds. This has a point. So if you haven't read Beowulf, basically it's a heroic tale. Old English poem, oldest Old English poem. And, takes place around 500 Common Era, recorded in 800 Common Era. And it's this transition period between polytheism and Christianity. Well, we've had a lot of discussions about the Christian symbolism in the poem. Well, for some in the class who are Christian, talking about the Bible as literature may seem, may seem controversial because, they take the Bible to be the Word of God. And like I said to them, I am not going to step on that interpretation, but I do want us to look closely at Genesis and the creation narrative and Adam and Eve, and look at the creation narrative in Beowulf, the court poet who provides a poem about God and the creation. So I feel like we're going to be in very dangerous territory if the only perspective that we can give as professors is from a straight Christian, white, dominated culture. It is not representative of our multicultural country. I don't want to have my students feel like they have to be silenced with their opinions because they're going to go against a presidential administration's rules. So now's the time to speak out. If you are an educator and you've been on the fence about speaking out, they're coming for free speech, okay? So if you have a platform, you need to speak out. If you have a podcast, you need to speak out. I've seen so many podcasters who I have talked with who have said nothing. about the current attack on free speech. You think that if they can, pressure ABC to get rid of Kimmel, you think that they're not going to pressure podcast networks to get rid of you? You think they're, podcast platforms aren't going to feel pressure to get rid of voices who are saying a narrative that goes against Project 2025, for example? Just saying.